everyone and welcome back to my channel A to Z Therapy with Smruti. I'm Smruti S Mishra, pursuing my first year Bachelor's of Occupational Therapy from Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya, National Institute for Persons with Physical Disabilities from Delhi University. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys what all books do we need and do I use in my first year during my course of Occupational Therapy. So let's get started. Let's talk about the syllabus. So in the first year, we have 9 subjects. So before freaking out, these all 9 subjects are not supposed for everyone. Majorly, we have 7 subjects, and the 8th and the ninth one are basically the language. 8th, we can say English, and another we learn the local language. So local language here, since I'm studying in Delhi, we have Hindi. But if you go to other states, you might have the other regional languages. This is basically for the purpose that you can communicate with the local people while you are practicing your and undergoing your course. You can communicate easily with the local people, and that's I think for a therapist or for a therapeutic student, it's a very important aspect that you can have a proper communication with your patient or your client. So now moving on with the subjects. I have years. I don't have semesters. So you might have semesters and you have like first semester, second semesters and all of that. But I don't have that. So maybe your subjects and my subjects may vary a bit, but not much. You might have your therapeutic subjects in your first or second semester, but I don't have any one of those in my first year. But in subsequent years, I will have my therapeutic subjects and you will have those subjects that you don't have for now. So nothing to lose, guys. Let's get started with the subjects. So I have anatomy, physiology as the main subjects, as in they are the bulk subjects for me. Anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry, pharmacology, pharma, microbiology, pathology, sociology. These are subjects, of course, we need to read a lot, but not in that depth that we study anatomy or physiology in. In my college, since we don't have the therapeutic subjects in the first year, so the physiotherapy and the occupational therapy batch combinedly studies the whole first year. There's no different batches, but yes, in the following years we do separate a bit for our therapeutic subjects, but a lot of other subjects too then combine us into a single batch. So if you are a physiotherapy student, don't worry, you will get your information, and I'm sure you'll benefit from that. So let's start with anatomy. Well, this is like the major material that I use for anatomy, and this another one is my most favorite. So coming with the golden book. It's a bit heavy, guys. The Grey's Anatomy. It is the student version. It is, I feel, the best book for anatomy. It will clear all your concepts, better your quality and your understanding for the clinicals. It is something which I feel, and the best part is the diagrams, guys. The diagrams, you must see the diagrams. Whenever you will study anatomy, you will realize that the diagrams are so important because you get the orientation of your body through it. So diagrams are really important. Once you understand that, okay, this is the muscle, this is the bone, and this muscle origins from here and inserts here, you will know the action of it too. You don't have to mug up everything. So diagram and getting the orientation of the body is very important. So I think Grey's Anatomy does that beautifully. Now coming up to the second most important book, I think it's it's like a pan India anatomy must, which is the BD Chaurasiya, the red books. Yes. So this one is the Handbook of General Anatomy by BD Chaurasiya. So here in this handbook, it is basically a general book that gives you a overview of what all you're going to study in your subsequent books and like in your volumes, and what all is there in the human body, and a very summarized part of your body. Now, this BD Chaurasya has 4 volumes. I have the older edition, so I can show you just the 3 editions. But if you get the new editions, you will have 4 volumes. So you will have the upper limb, you will have the lower limb, you will have abdomen, pelvis, thorax. Then you will have head and neck, neuroanatomy. I don't know the distribution of the 4 volumes, but these are the major topics that you are going to study. Now, under anatomy, we also have embryology and histology to study. Though in embryology, I don't use any specific book because we don't need it. We just read very superficial and very basics of embryology, and that is provided the notes and everything. We just use the class notes. Histology, I use the the Atlas, the textbook of human histology by Krishna Garg. I do have the PDF version of it, and if you want a more detailed one, then you can get this Inderveer Singh's textbook of human histology. This is much more detailed. We don't usually read it in so detail, so you don't might need much of it. Now, you will have also 2 workbooks, one for the general and the gross anatomy, and one for the histology. So these are the books basically we use for practical purposes. Into physiology, the second most important, I would say. For that, I use Professor A.K. Jain's book, the textbook of physiology. It is also a very famous book. I have the MBBS version I got it from some relative. So you might get the OT/PT version. It's also available for. This is the textbook of physiology. This is a volume 1, and this is the volume 2. This is the MBBS version. You might get the cover page different. I also use this human physiology in nutshell. This is also by Dr. Vijayam. This actually book helps me since I use the MBBS version. So this actually helps me. This is a very summarized, very crisp, to the point points of the chapter are given here. So it helps me, once I just go through the chapter from the book. This makes me understand what all are the important points and the relevant points. So it's a good, I would say, revision material. Now we have pharmacology, pathology, microbiology, and biochemistry. For all these 4 subjects, I use PDF books. I don't use hard copies. For pathology, I use Harsh Mohan, and Harsh Mohan is a really simplified version of Robbins, I would say, the Indian way. So Harsh Mohan is you can get the PDF of it definitely, and I personally use the slides. I reckon like go back to my class notes. That really helps me understand. And then I also have a concise of pathology, which is used by medical students. That's a basically question answer book, but that really helps me prepare my answers for the exam, and the answers are really written well, so you don't feel that there is any lack of concept or anything. For pharmacology, I use to refer KD Tripathi, the essentials of pharmacology, but still again, I get back to my class notes. That's like my main material to study. For microbiology, personally, I like CP Baveja more. But you can get Anant Narayan or Surendra Kumar too. Surendra Kumar is really, really in detail, so at times, yes, CP Baveja falls short. For some topics, you can get back to Surendra Kumar. I would suggest that if you could have these 2-3 books, the PDF version of these 2-3 books, it would be great. You'll have all your answers perfectly done. Chemistry, I use the Biochemistry for Students by V.K. Malhotra. I also have the PDF version of Dinesh Puri's book, but I think all my work is done by mostly by V.K. Malhotra sir's book. That's a very simplified book, very sorted, to the point answers. You can find it, and That's I think suffices what all we need to understand, what all we need to read. So I think that's a very nice book for us. Well, that's all for the today's video, guys. If you like this video, then do give me a thumbs up. This will let me know you like the video, and do share it with your friends, with your batchmates, and comment below what all books you use, and if this video helped you in some way. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to know more about the course of occupational therapy in India and its relevance and everything out, you can check out my previous videos. Link will be in description or in the suggestions, so you can check those video out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. I'll be creating some lot of fun contents regarding exams, life as an OT student, uh, my hacks of studying, and lot more content regarding OT and the whole world of rehabilitation. So stay tuned for further updates, and thanks a lot for watching, and stay safe, stay healthy, guys.